So I've been watching this anime called Rock is a Lady's Modesty, and I've been enjoying it so far until this scene came up. This scene that you guys see right here, right now, in this instant. This fan service. And so I was thinking, damn, this is an anime about rock music, is it not? No, this is an anime about, breaking away from their ladylike tradition. They're trying to be the most ladylike ever, period. But then here are these two to three gals within this academy built around making them the most ladylike, period. But of course, they in their inner souls, they're rock stars. And so when this fan service came up, I was thinking, this actually has been missing throughout the entire series. When I think about rock music, I think about rock bands like Marilyn Manson or like Ozzy Osbourne. When you hear about these guys, they use a lot of shock rock. They use a lot of theatrics to garner attention, like symbolism, to garner a big fan base. A fan base that is rebellious. A fan base that is degenerate, a fan base, and all these different things. Of course, rock has a lot of subgenres and a lot of genres within it. And of course, like I mentioned, like in Ozzy Osbourne, I remember he did this. He has his own show. He had his own show, and so within his show, he's a rocker. He literally pissed on the floor, and then after he got done pissing, he bent over and licked it off the floor, guys. Yeah, it's just, these guys are known to be, they're crazy. Rock stars are crazy. When you think about rock stars, you think about them doing the craziest shit ever, period. Partying all night, drugs, women, all this degenerate stuff. But here in this anime, they haven't really had any of that. They really haven't been using it that much. Until, of course, this thing came up. And I was thinking, wow, that was extremely random. That was just, out of pocket. It kind of fell out of place, if you will. It really just fell out of place. But at the same time, I was thinking, hold up. This is actually perfectly normal. And it adds a little bit of spice, if you will. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. So even though this was extremely random, even though this felt extremely out of place, I remembered that rock music uses a lot of these theatrics, a lot of these fan service, a lot of these symbolisms. Because when you want to rock out, you're not thinking about rules, you're thinking about breaking the rules, you're thinking about breaking away from what society has built for you. When you think about rock music, you're thinking about breaking away from society, breaking away from norms, starting new trends, becoming, your true self, pretty much. But of course, we all know that, you can't just do anything you want and anarchy. You gotta have some type of rules, that's what rock music represents when I think about rock music. You break away from the traditional narrative. But like I said, this anime so far has been doing such a great job showcasing this. And this is actually the first time I thought about it. I'm thinking like, damn, this is about an all elite girls academy where refined young ladies gather. So Elisa Shizunoima, now the daughter of a real estate tycoon, after her mother remarried, is forced to abandon her guitar and rock music to fit in. See, guys, this is all coming full circle. This is the perfect representation of when you try to meet a certain standard, you try to fit in a certain mold. But at the end of the day, when you discover rock music, you discover that there is more than just fitting into a mold. There's more than just doing what society wants you to do. Of course, you don't gotta break rules. Of course, you don't have to, be theatric. You don't have to be the Ozzy Osbourne within your family, within your life. You can have some control, guys. But yeah, guys, this was just so random that I had to get it off my shoulder. I had to say something. I was like, bro, yeah, while all this, you know, was a little too much for my senses, it was just a little like, and it was just so out of pocket. This is Japan we're talking about. But I'm saying they gotta add something. They gotta add something. And what a surprise this was, especially when it comes to this character. You know, I did not expect this from this character. Especially when she was wearing something to suppress this area within her body. And wow, my name list. Yeah, you guys gotta need more details here. Yeah, keyboardist. Wow, that's that. Anyways, but yeah, this is gonna be their new keyboardist for their new rock band within this anime called Rock is Lady's Modesty. And so just to finish this up, however, her passion is reignited by sounds from old school building where she meets a skilled drummer who shares her love for rock. Together they embrace their inner rockers, elegantly clashing and shouting their way through the academy in this captivating tale of grace and rebellion. Of course, I got that from my anime list. Shout out to them, the news. Of course, I'm going to show you guys where I'm reading this off of. Oh, where did the video go? I'm going to show you guys where I'm reading this off of, you know, because I ain't trying to get in trouble. You know, shout out to my anime list for always providing a little bit of details. You know, they could honestly do better with these details. Like, rah, like, there's nothing about her. Like, who's updating this? Like, they're obviously not watching the anime, so I can't blame them. They really just gotta allow us to change this stuff, like add things. Like, I'd probably add. Hold on, let's see. Can I add this? Edit character information. Well, anyways, that's for another time, guys. But yeah, that's all I really wanted to get off my shoulders. You know, this was so random, but also, you know, I forgot that rock music was like this, and I really love the symbolism this anime is offering. You know, they're trying to fit a mold. And this character's background in particular, she feels like she's like her entire personality has been pretty much given to her. Her whole lifestyle has been pretty much given, you know, is being force fed down her throat. And now because she saw her rocking out in a local festival, she feels like this is her calling to finally find her true self. What a fantastic episode. This was episode 6 of Rock is Lady's Modesty. But that is all, guys. Peace.